In a small village, surrounded by mountains and flowers, there lived a curious little girl named Santa. She was bright, full of questions, and always dreaming. But there was one thing that made her sad. She didn't know how to read or write. Every time she saw books in the hands of grown-ups, she felt like there was a secret world she couldn't enter. When the children heard she was a writer, they gathered around her and asked for an autograph. She continued writing, traveling, meeting new people, and experiencing life. Yet she never forgot the little girl who dreamed of reading. For Santa knew that if she hadn't chased her dream, she wouldn't have become the storyteller she was today. And so, with every story she wrote and every page she turned, Santa's dream inspired other dreams, reminding everyone that even the smallest spark can light the greatest story. Santa took the book, opened it to the last page, and wrote, "Once upon a time, there was a little girl who couldn't read, but she had a dream." Then she closed the book, looked at the children, and said, "And here is another story. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who couldn't read, but she had a dream." And every time Santa visited the orphanage after that, she would tell them a new story. Each girl and boy listened intently, their eyes shining with wonder. One evening, she sat beside her grandmother, who was telling her a story about the moon. Santa sighed and said, "Grandma, when will I be able to read stories by myself?" Her grandmother smiled and gently said, "When you start learning letters, the doors will open." And that was the beginning. Santa woke up early every morning. She wrote letters in the sand, traced words on foggy windows, and read aloud every sign she saw in the street. Weeks passed, then months. Her reading improved. The first word she read was dream, and from that moment on, she started writing hers. At age 10, she wrote her first short story, called The Chair That Wanted to Fly. Her teacher loved it so much, he published it in the school magazine, and it went viral. Santa's stories got bigger. Her readers got more. And soon, children everywhere were falling asleep to her tales. One day, Santa visited an orphanage on the hill. Years flew by like pages in a book. Santa grew up, her hair turning the color of the midnight sky.